Turnies on a wall plane was taught to me by a Tibetan poi master while I was lost in the Himalayas on an elephant. In this exercise, we will keep 2 poi spinning on a wall plane while we turn our entire bodies through a circle. This teaches both perception and motor skills, and it's a great way to learn to dance freely with poi. To do this exercise, you should be able to turn fairly freely in shoulder reels. Like that. Start with a wall. The wall can be in your imagination, but it's better if it's a wall. Face the wall with just your arms in a T. Turn to your left, underneath your left arm. Keep both hands on the wall as you turn through a complete circle. Your fingers should be touching the wall. This is an exploration on how your body works. You want to be able to turn through the whole circle with your arms in a nice extended position without any strain. When you can do that, you're ready to proceed. Then take just one poi. Say your right poi. But both arms go into the T. Again, you turn all the way to your left shoulder, and you keep the spinning poi on the wall plane the whole time. So never bring it here. It's always between you and the wall. This will be difficult as you go over the top. Remain comfortable the whole time. Then do the same thing with your left. Also, clockwise. Notice in particular how you got your back of your head to it, your left shoulder to it, you're facing it, your right shoulder to the wall, and your poi. And so you can turn like this, also comfortably. If you're not using a wall, you may do this, which will not teach you anything. You want to make sure you've got your poi straight up and down. The whole point is to keep a straight plane through an entire circle, as my Tibetan poi master said. When you've had some success with both arms, both poi spin clockwise and slowly turn to the left, passing both poi between you and the wall. You can be in same time or split time. Ultimately, you'll want to do it both ways until you can turn in a full circle. Again, make sure you do not do this. They're between you and the wall the whole time. Now, again, what will happen is you'll lose your planes. Then you have to put a lot of attention into how to get the plane back to where you want it, and this is what will take weeks. So that will go wrong. You need to fix it. That will go wrong. You need to fix it. The way to fix it is just time and practice. You would not believe the long winter nights we spent in Tibet practicing this. So weeks will pass, and you have to come back to one poi at a time. Every journey begins with one poi, as my Tibetan poi master said. Then the other poi, and then both together. And as it begins to work, you can play with the variables. So the variables include spinning clockwise, but turning to your right, which will be harder because it's anti-spin. And then doing things like opposite directions, which will be even harder because one will be in spin and the other will be anti-spin. So this will teach you a huge amount about your planes and your perception of the poi, where they are and where your wall plane is. So after you spend a couple of weeks with this and you've made some progress, what you can do is come back to something like, say, whirling with shoulder reels. And what you're going to see is that whirling with a shoulder reel is the same thing, sped up. So normally, if you would take shoulder reels and try to, say, whirl continuously, you'll possibly lose your planes. That is because during the turn, there are places where you had no control of your poi, and you didn't know where your plane was. If you practice this, what happens is you will learn deeply where your plane is through the entire sphere of movement as you turn. Then when you speed it up, you will maintain your knowledge of where your plane is through the entire sphere of movement, and you will not lose your plane. You can do it in same time as shoulder reels, or you can do it in split time as more like a wall plane flower. In both cases, you will have a newfound skill of knowing where your wall plane is through the entire sphere of movement. Your perception of having planes all the way as you turn will take you even beyond specific moves, giving you entire new freedom to move with the poi, however you wish to turn. Also, you develop an inexplicable taste for buttered tea.